What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. The mighty Thor, Dr. Jane Foster, has arrived in Marvel's Avengers, and depending on what platform you are on, she is either the 10th or 11th playable character in the game, and I have been having a lot of fun playing with her. She is obviously kind of a mimic of Thor, and obviously Thor is my favorite character in the game, so having a second kind of variation of Thor is awesome for me, and I would actually probably say she's my second favorite character in the game. So obviously the devs seem pretty excited with this Embracer Group deal. It seems like, and I don't know anything, but it seems like they've gotten some kind of assurances of where things are going to go from here, and they keep talking about the future and multiples of characters, and I try not to read too much into this. If we're being honest, this game has not been what we expected it to be, and it's never going to be on day 673. We know what this is, all right? They're never going to put things out fast enough, and it's kind of almost irresponsible to start thinking about the future, but the heart wants what it wants, you know? We all are still here because in some variation we love this miserable experience, you know? I mean, when the game is working, it is honestly one of my favorite games to play. It obviously has had some issues, but we're neither here nor there. It seems to be getting better, hopefully, and I would love to see this game continue. I would love to see them get the support they deserve, and I hope we do get a great deal of characters moving forward. So obviously every time I stream, people ask, well, who would you want to add to the game? And I answered all the time with a bunch of different variations of the answer, and I figured, you know what, we're almost at year 2. Let's go ahead and put together an updated top 10 characters I want to see in Marvel's Avengers. And I want to talk about first what's next, all right? We all follow Miller. Miller does a great job, no matter how hard they try to devalue or kind of shrug off his guesswork. He seems to guess really well. And from what we understand, the next couple characters are going to be some variation of She-Hulk, Winter Soldier, or Captain Marvel. So I'm obviously leaving those characters off my list because we kind of expect to see them at some point soon. Maybe we get She-Hulk in time for that August 17th release on Disney Plus. Maybe it's Winter Soldier instead. If you saw recently, Xbox did a stream with Brian Wagner, and the host may have dropped some information he thought was confirmed, but is not, that She-Hulk is coming. So I don't know, man. Like, with the smoke, there's fire. It's obviously happening at some point, but I don't know if it'll be synergized with the MCU, which I think is actually a really good thing. I think it's going to bring a lot of attention, hopefully, to the game. People that are seeing Thor Love and Thunder will hopefully come over because they see, oh, I can play as Thor in this game. I can play as Jane Foster in this game. It's cool. It's something to be able to do, and I think that is something I considered with my list. At number 10, I'm just going to get right into it. At number 10, I kind of had a variation of 3 different characters. Blade and Black Knight are the ones that got edged out in favor of Namor. All right, Namor is the original mutant, the first mutant, if you will, and a longtime Avenger. Also a member of the Illuminati, and I would really think it'd be very interesting to see how he would play in a game like this. And obviously we are going to be seeing him in the next Black Panther movie. Could they do Shuri instead? Sure. But I like to focus on core Avengers, people that we know for their affiliation with the Avengers, and Namor, absolutely one of those characters. Breaking my own rule, though, at number 9, I'm going to go ahead with Darkhawk. Darkhawk, barely an Avenger. I think he was like a provisional West Coast Avenger, but obviously one of my favorite characters of all time, and I think he would be amazing in this game. I feel like he would play like some variation of Iron Man because his Darkhawk armor can basically, you know, spawn in all sorts of different weaponry. So that would be really cool, and he's a flyer. And I'm just being selfish with that pick. I know there's a 0% chance of it happening. Actually, probably less than 0 if that's possible. But it's my list, and I want to put Darkhawk on it. At number 8 is a character that I think a lot of people are asking for, Doctor Strange. Obviously, we've seen him in the Avenger movies. He would synergize perfectly with the MCU. You'd have lots of options there. And I would love to see how magic would operate in Marvel's Avengers. We definitely need some magic wielding characters. I think it would be so much fun. I know we're going to be seeing Doctor Strange in Midnight Suns. I don't know that this is actually as realistic as we think, but I feel like Doctor Strange is going to be really, really high on anyone's list, especially when you consider the modern Avengers that most people are going to know. At number 7 is a newer kind of Avenger. We have Shang-Chi. Okay, I loved Shang-Chi. I thought it was fantastic, and I would love to see a pure melee character in this game. Obviously, he could use those rings and sling them back and forth. I would obviously expect it to operate sort of how Mjolnir acts. And that would be really cool. I just think it would be a really great opportunity to also add an Asian character into the game. There aren't going to be too many options when it does come to the Avengers, and this is just perfect. I think it's obviously a little bit after where Shang-Chi has come out, but I would imagine they're doing a second movie or another Avengers movie at some point. Who knows? And we're talking way down the line at this point anyway. I would love to see them consider Shang-Chi. At number 6, we have a character that I feel like we're wasting Denzel Washington possibly coming to the MCU and not using it on Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel, to me, is a character that I think should be a superstar in the Marvel Universe. I would love to see them kind of focus on him a little bit more, and having Denzel or even his son play him in the MCU would be fantastic, and being able to play him in this game would be even cooler. Obviously, we are going to see him at some point, I would imagine, in the Marvels movie that's going to have, I think it's going to be basically Captain Marvel 2, essentially. I feel like he's got to be there in some way. I mean, he is kind of part of the Ultimates group, which does feature most of those characters. So it would be really cool to see Blue Marvel in this game. At number 5, we have Vision, and Vision, I think, would seamlessly be a character that they should be able to put into this game narratively, okay? Obviously, we have Roy everywhere, and Vision is just, he's one of those core original type Avengers, not OG, but he's an early adopting member of the Avengers. And when you think of the Avengers, Vision is one of those core characters that you think of. So I really think he would be perfect. He would obviously fly. I don't know how they would handle some of his density stuff where he can shift and phase through things. That would certainly be interesting. Obviously, they would reserve the right to kind of make their own take on it, but I still think it's perfect. He has so many cool outfits they could do. And obviously the WandaVision ties. I'm sure we're going to find a way to get him back in the future into the Marvel Universe. So there you go. Number 5, we have Vision. At number 4, we have Falcon. And honestly, he probably could even be higher on my list. To be fair, he is an old school core Avenger, known as an Avenger. Perfect for this game. Another flyer. It'd be great to see how he could use Red Wing and incorporate him kind of like the spider drone and stuff like that. Obviously, we could have a Captain America outfit for him. So many cool opportunities for Falcon, and you can't have the Winter Soldier without Falcon. And obviously, it's just perfect. I think the perfect character for this game, maybe even more than everybody else on this list, and the 3 characters that we think are coming. All right, Falcon. At number 3, we have the Scarlet Witch. And listen, probably again should be higher. Probably should be number 1. I want to see magic in this game, like everybody else. Wanda is one of the most powerful characters in all the Marvel Universe, and again, one of those core early adopting members of the Avengers. She is obviously has been a mutant too, but not really known as much for that. And again, you're noticing I'm leaving out all these X-Men and Fantastic Four characters that kind of dipped into the Avenger pool at some point. Trust me, Deadpool is a card-carrying member of the Avengers. I'm not putting Deadpool on this list. You think of Deadpool, you think of the X-Men. This should be a list of characters that when you think of their affiliation, you're mostly going to think of the Avengers. And Scarlet Witch is just that. And I think she would be super awesome in this game in so many ways. At number 2, we have Moon Knight. Moon Knight has been a long-standing member of the Avengers in and out, and obviously just had his successful MCU debut with his Disney Plus show. Moon Knight is one of my favorite characters of all time, and I'm literally looking at a poster of him right now as a secret Avenger. And a lot of the guys from that game, people from that team, I should say, are either in the game or possibly going to be soon. And I just think Moon Knight would be so much fun. I can see him playing sort of a little bit like a cross between Black Panther and maybe Hawkeye. And, you know, I love Moon Knight. I just think he'd be great. And you think of all those costume opportunities, so perfect. And at number 1, it should be obvious, it is Nova. Richard Rider is my favorite character that is not named Thor and Deadpool. Those three are my trinity of Marvel characters, and I think Nova would just be amazing in this game. Obviously, I think you play a little bit more like Iron Man, or how I think Captain Marvel is going to play, and just another flying character. Obviously, I focused a lot on characters that can fly, almost my entire list, but you know, I don't need to go into why I love Nova. The reason why I typically shy away from saying Nova, and my more realistic list would probably be like Scarlet Witch, Falcon, and Vision for my top 3. But the reason I shy away from Nova is because he was only a secret Avenger. I think he might have dabbled as a West Coast Avenger, but, you know, honestly at this point, I actually think of him more as a Guardian of the Galaxy. And I would actually rather see a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 video game that focuses on finding Richard Rider, but I digress. I would even have no problem if they did like a Sam Alexander skin, not him instead of Rich, because Rich is the one and only Nova to me. And that is pretty much how I feel. I would love to know the characters that you guys would like to see in this game. Again, this is probably a pipe dream. I mean, I don't know what to really expect at this point, but it does seem that the game is going to go on for better or worse into a year 3, which, you know, again, if you're still here today, I think you all kind of know, temper your expectations and just kind of take what you get. I mean, it's never going to be enough. It's never going to be fast enough, but I like a lot of you, love the game, want to see it continue to live. If we're being honest, I think I would rather actually see them just start on a Marvel's Avengers 2 if they can. But the longer we can keep stuff coming here, I'm fine with 2. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I would love to know what you think. We'll see you.